You've probably heard the news that Robert Downey Jr. is confirmed to play Doctor Doom in the MCU, and a lot of people are speculating which comic version of Doom they will adapt to the MCU. Surprisingly, there are many crossovers between Iron Man and Doom in the comics, but I'm going to break down two of the most likely stories they'll use. The biggest Doctor Doom and Iron Man comic storyline that everyone is predicting that they will adapt is Infamous Iron Man, but there's something about this storyline that just doesn't quite fit. Given that RDJ is well known as Iron Man in the MCU, people are saying Infamous Iron Man will be a perfect fit because Tony becomes Doom. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not actually how the story goes. In the story, Tony is presumed dead after the events of Civil War II, and Doom is slightly different because he doesn't always wear his mask because Reed Richards fixed his face for a fresh start after he fixed the multiverse within Secret Wars. With his fresh start, Doom decides that he wants to use his powers and knowledge for good and takes up the mantle of Iron Man since, well, Iron Man is down and out. Now, other than that reason, why did Doom choose Iron Man over any other hero? Well, that's because besides Reed Richards, Tony Stark is pretty much the only person in the Marvel Universe that Doom has said he has a mutual respect for. Now, while Infamous Iron Man is one of my favorite Doctor Doom stories, and I'm sure they'll use some inspiration from the storyline at some point, quite possibly after Avengers Secret Wars, but I'm not sure how much of it they will actually use. This takes us to our other storyline that I think the MCU will most likely adapt, and that is a What If storyline. And no, this is not from the What If show. This is from What If Iron Man in an Armor #1 by David Michelinie, Bob Layton, and Graham Nolan. Just as a FYI, given this story is a What If story, it's in a different universe than the main 616 universe. In this story, Victor Von Doom and Anthony, Tony Stark, are roommates in college where an experiment goes bad and Tony Stark eventually becomes Victor Von Doom, but not the Doom we all know. Victor tricks Tony by saying that his scholarships are going to be stripped from him and that he's going to get kicked out of school at the end of this semester. So Victor had told Tony that he needed help finishing a device that would allow anyone to do telekinesis to say help paraplegic people walk again in an effort to save his scholarships. Well, Tony agreed, but Victor wasn't so forthright with his device as the device was going to and did switch the minds of Victor and Tony. Now, Victor's mind is in Tony Stark and Tony's mind is in Victor's body, with the caveat that Tony's mind in Victor's body has also had his memory erased. Towards the end of the experiment, they get caught and Tony, now in Victor's body, is kicked out of school and deported back to Latveria, while Victor in Tony's body takes over Stark Universal, aka Stark Industries, in this universe. As time passes, Tony in Victor's body works his way up from menial jobs to achieving a PhD and eventually becomes Dr. Victor Von Doom. He creates Doom Industries and uses his knowledge to help people. In fact, Doom Industries was doing so well that it started to hurt the economics for Stark Universal. Well, this made Victor in Tony's body very pissed off, so he goes to Latveria to steal Doom Industries' latest technology, the arc reactor, in the standard but green Iron Man suit. Tony in Victor's body is alerted to this and he puts on a standard Dr. Doom suit but in the typical Iron Man colors and goes up against Victor. Tony eventually beats Victor in the fight, but Victor pleads for his life back, thinking Tony will want to get his old life back. But Tony says that Stark Universal has now been associated with greed, cruelty, and a lust for power, and that there's no way that he would want that life. He says that he is now Victor Von Doom and that Dr. Doom is an honorable man. Now, that could be a confusing adaptation for the MCU since Tony Stark wins and Dr. Doom doesn't. Well, we know that the MCU doesn't adapt everything from the comics word for word, but if you want to learn more about some Doctor Doom storylines, check this video out.